streamer, bro. Nothing's ready. Unprepared streamer. I'm not even on the screen. I am. Bro, I can't even find nothing, bro. Yo, what's good, you know? Scoot up right here. Yep. So, what's good? Hope everyone has been well. You know what I mean? Let's look at this thing. Now, granted, I looked at a little bit of this, but I didn't really go all that ham. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, it's not that I was like saving it for like YouTube content, because I feel like reaction content doesn't do that great. Let's be honest. Right? But I felt like, you know, at least the character guide, we should watch it together, you know? It's loud. I don't really need his music. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think his music is that great either, to be honest. Am I the only one who feels that way? I feel like his music is just not that great. Personally, I don't know. Maybe you feel a little different, I just want something chill, bro. That should be good. Yo, welcome in. What's going on, everybody? I know it's been a minute. I apologize. If you did want to know what was going on, it's more so just them getting married. Busy man, busy life, that sort of thing. So that's why the content's definitely slowed down quite a bit. But surprise, I guess. It's not really a surprise for some people who have been in here, but that's namely why I've been so busy. Up until the point it happens, I'm probably still gonna be pretty busy. After that point, I think things are gonna settle down, gonna have a little honeymoon, woody woo, and then we're gonna be in daylight swimwear, you feel me? So he has, this is like, I feel like this is, yo, brand new. Hope you're doing well, bro. What's up? Tiger Shot. High Tiger Shot. I think the interesting thing about High Tiger Shot is it causes a juggle effect. What's up, champ? I've just got my on to master. Congrats! Care to look some of my rank matches to see where I can improve with this? For sure. Let's do it.
Here comes a new challenger.
Hey, SK's future hubby, crazy. What's good with you, man? I hope you're doing well. I'ma just, you know what I mean? I know all the big wigs are gone, so I'm gonna hold it down for y'all. Look, man, if you're streaming it, I'm there. I'm thinking about streaming EVO. But like I said, I got things going on. I ain't gonna lie to you. But either way, I'll do my best. You feel me? This thing's a bit loud, no? This thing got pretty loud. Your CFN is Smurf Hunter? Are you a Smurf Hunter for real? What's the word? Alrighty. I'm not gonna lie, I've been I haven't really been booting up the game. I've been booting up the game here and there every so often. Been watching a couple of my matches here and there when it arises. Yo, what are we thinking about Tokon, by the way? Okay. FA the boss, hope you're doing well. Could I get some coaching too? Of course. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna look at this Luke one. We're gonna give you some Manon tips. I was dooming. You know what I'm saying? I was dooming. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was dooming. I'm still gonna keep the video up because people are coming to that video still and like they're like sharing their wartime stories, and other people like actually the character got some top 8s. And I'm like, oh, hold on. Let me grab something for quick. People are hitting me with, actually the character's doing really well right now. I'm like, okay. All right, my fault. Yeah. We're just gonna cope ourselves. All right. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right. Let's see what happened. Okay. Eventually you'll get to the point in which where you can react to this, but this is an opportune time to really get, you know, right. Sorry, I've been playing a lot of Manon. I've been playing a lot of Elena. I don't know. There you go. Right, you get your stock, and then you can either decide to pull up or not. If the Luke player that you're facing is throwing a lot of heavy punch, try and force it to whiff. Okay. When you're playing, you should be looking for data, okay? I'm not saying you did anything wrong in this instance, but this is something you should keep in mind while you're playing, okay? You should look for opportunities for data. This right here is data that you can use for later on in the set. Okay? This right here is data that you can use later on in the set. What does this data prove? His anti-airs aren't as sharp as it first seems. So, we can take advantage of this a little bit. There we go. We can take advantage of this later on in the set. So far as I know that this person doesn't have anti-airs, so I'm going to sometimes be cheeky and go for a jump, right? Unfortunate. This one. Ooh, okay. Unless your opponent is throwing the living smoke out of you, unless the opponent is throwing the living smoke out of you, don't tech. Don't tech. Reason why I don't want you to tech in these scenarios, at least off the rip, is because if you get into situations like this, you're just giving them free damage, right? Let's suppose the alternative happens here, where you decide to be patient. If I'm gonna get thrown, I'm gonna get thrown. Ooh, my rations. Right? Now we can either put them in a situation like this, right? Or we can try and jump out the corner and force them into a situation like this. Okay? If you decide to block the crossover, you could also go for jump over command grab immediately, or you could go for back medium kick. The reason why is because some people feel as though they can fuzzy jump per command grab. So what will happen is that people won't jump right away, but they'll kind of hold up delayed in order to kind of get away with it. You feel what I'm saying? So in those cases, you can kind of catch them by using back medium kick in this case. If they try to mash, depending on how deep you hit that steady medium kick, this actually becomes true. Okay? I'm not saying that the delay tech, you can't use delay tech, but what I'm saying is that you gotta be very mindful of the spots that you decide to do it in. Okay? Also, parry as a panic anti-air is dangerous territory, my friend. But but we'll get there once we get a little bit higher up. Good. Okay. So here, right after you hit this, you immediately backed up. What I want you to do, instead of, you'll use back medium kick usually from drive rush cancels, or after a jump medium heavy kick on block, which is not bad, but honestly you can use it even as an Oki situation after slide, right? Back medium kick, they have to guess, right? You can do back medium kick nothing, back medium kick low, back medium kick command grab, right? Anyways, let me talk about this situation here, right? After you hit them with a crouching medium kick, right, what you did is back up. Instead, what I want you to start doing is push your advantage into them, right? Because essentially what you gave them is you gave them extra ground to go for something, even though it is technically your turn, right? So a very safe option I like to do is to slightly walk up and then go into crouching medium kick. Now, if you catch them trying to press something and then you counter hit them, you get a route, and then you force them into a situation where they have to guess, right? So don't be afraid to go for an option immediately afterwards, okay? So that's how we're going to take advantage of our opponent more often. Now, if they happen to block it, recognize that you blocked it and then look for an option, because a lot of the time when they block it, the crouching medium kick is going to space them out properly. So it'll give you more than enough room to react to whatever's going on the screen, right? So if they block it, slightly walk back so that you're out of crouching medium kick range. You also got to remember that Luke has an egregious crouching medium kick. So in these cases, slightly walk back, look for the opportunity, and then with punish if you see anything. If you don't see anything, then you're good. If you see drive rush, you're good, right? Now, if you don't feel confident in the fact that you can hit the standing medium punch or the crouching medium punch in these cases, just go for standing leg kick, right? If you don't want to spend the meter behind it, that's how you get it. It also sets up for drive rush crouching medium kick or drive rush grab, okay? So, this is gonna happen occasionally when you're fighting Luke, but I need to work on checking. I mistimed the. Don't put any period. Just put the 4 letters. Don't put any period. If you put period, it's gonna block it. So in these cases, your opponent is going to try this stupid gimmick thing. Okay. Now, the first time it's gonna happen, you're gonna go for parry. Cool. After this first time, there are 2 things I'm going to look for and observe for, okay? That is their drive gauge. How much drive gauge do they have? If they have this amount, I'll be a little bit wary of choosing the option I'm going to tell you about. But if they have less than this, or they only have 1 meter, you know exactly what I'm going to do, okay? So off of these, it happened once, okay? Happened once. I'm testing your gangster. You know what I mean? I am testing your gangster. You are not going to do that to me. Now, let's suppose they have 3, right? In the case that they do have 3, I'm going to take this option, right? Where I neutral jump. So this is completely optional, right? So the first time, obviously, you're going to tap parry. That's because you're not ready to see it yet. You know, it is what it is, right? That's just natural. However, after that point, I'm going to be hyper aware of that option and either go for this, right? Or alternatively, go for the parry. Oh, I didn't get my EX up. Okay, so keep this in mind while you're playing, especially when it comes to the Luke matchup. Because that they love starting to do this, especially because they think they can just get away with this. Nice. But again, this was risky though. This was risky though, right? Sometimes it's good to text the gangster just to make sure, especially if you're up around. If you're up around, this is perfectly fine, right? Granted, you'll take like the chunk of damage here, right? But it is what it is. Number 1, you're up around, so you'll go to the second round. Number 2, the key thing is that you burnt this out, this option. So now they no longer, oh, what the heck? Hold on. Hold on. There it is. Okay. You're right, I had no idea he had a level 3 at that time. It's just something to keep in mind, right? The moment you notice he has level 3 and he can react, that's when we switch it up with neutral jump, right? Now, granted, you're not locked into the idea of using neutral jump, right? Now, this is a slightly harder option to pull off, but you can also interrupt with standing light kick. With all you have to do is simply delay it. If you're able to delay the normal, then you can get the punish for it, right? Interrupt them for it, get your damage, right? So the three ways of dealing with it is DI, right? Neutral jump, or extend light kick to interrupt. Okay, so learning what these options are, stopping these very common tips and tricks and nonsensical things like that, right, will help you in the long run. Nice reaction. Oh, these are very okay. My brother, I'm trying to DI. You like a try to level 1 there? No. I don't think it's necessary to DI there, right? I don't think it was necessary for you to DI this. Or sorry, for you to go for that option, right? There's this option. And then you go for thing. And you go for this, which didn't kill. Or alternatively, you simply just go for your command grab and then you battle it out. If you wanted side switch, you could go for this and then go for pressure afterwards, right? Level 1 is a decent option, like going for please. Or for this option, it's not a bad option. Or I even think going for why? I haven't played in a while. Even that, I don't think you kill here, which is crazy, right? If you hyper delay the thing into quarter circle forward, down forward heavy kick, you actually get the side switch off of this instance. So you just walk forward a little bit and then side switch, and then it gives you the good knockdown. Okay, that's an option as well. Yo, Griffin, been a minute. How are you, my friend? Here, you took the side switch. Cool. This one was a very weird commitment, right? So in this case, where my mind goes, and where your mind goes mine should go as well, is think about this option right here, CA. Okay. If they decide to go for wake up CA, now we're in a fairly dangerous situation. Yo, my friend recommended you. Can I get some coaching after whoever's next? Sure, no problem. Who's your friend, if I may ask, by the way? So what you're gonna do, right? You have to keep in mind you have CA here.
Here comes a new challenger.
Who is that? Yo, Larson, appreciate the follow, bro. So after the knockdown here, worried about thing, right? The next thing that I want you to put attention towards is your offensive choice. Okay? Here, in this instance, what I would want to do is force burnout upon this. Okay? So how would I go about forcing burnout in this case? If I'm not going to try and respect the if I'm not going to try and respect the fact that he has CA, how am I going to force burnout here? Right? So what I would like to do would either drive rush back medium punch or go for an option like this and burn them out. Because now we're in a situation where if I go for this, you just die, right? Or alternatively, right, you could go for this. You can go for a back heavy punch immediately, and then go for that pressure string. Okay, that way you're forcing them into a situation where they have to respect it. If they happen to not respect it and get hit by the crouch jab into drive rush stand jab into back medium punch is a combo. This is a combo, right? And if you recognize it, then you can kill them for it. So while going for standing medium punch is not a bad option, you can go for an option like that. That's also an option available to you as well, right? What I want to force is the fact that he's near burnout, so I can immediately go into that. I told him to pop by you because you gave me advice, which got me to plant the diamond a long time ago. Hey, I appreciate that, man. 100%, I'm here to help. So now you achieve the burnout, but at what cost, right? Sometimes when it comes to the back medium kick, this is a little cheeky thing that I'm gonna give you, okay? When you do the back medium kick, right? People are immediately thinking you're gonna do this, right? In those cases, if they think that you're gonna go for the overhead, right? Why not stop and do it again? So what does that look like, right? They block the back medium kick and they stand block, or they try to tap parry to parry the overhead. So in those cases, we stop, either throw them, right? Like so, or we go into it again, and that time they're not going to be ready because they think that you're going to stop again. I can't tell you how many times this worked. Even at EVO, I'm so sad I'm not going to EVO this year, but even at EVO last year, I was in a Manon mirror and I did this and he got counter hit. All of my matches at EVO, when I did this, just get counter hit. Now the thing is that this is less so of a risky option to go for offense in cases where you're up around. Because he's up around and he's in CA, let's suppose in this instance, I'm him, right? I'm Luke. I'm a scrub. Oh, I'm Luke. I'm a scrub. I can't wake up. Please. There we go. I am so rusty. Oh my gosh. Right? They go for this option. Now let's look at it. Okay? Now let's get it. Look at your drive gauge. Now you're low on drive gauge. Look at your health. Now you're low on health. Now it's an even game. Except, number one, he has advantage here, right? He can decide to just pull up on you and either A, throw you, or B, go for a button immediately afterwards. And this is all because you went for something immediately afterwards, right? CA damage, raw CA damage is not to be slept upon. Because now, right? After this, you have to guess. You just have to guess. If you're right and you go for throw, congratulations, you survived another instance. If you're wrong, you just die, right? But this is something that you always have to leverage against yourself. Do you think he's going to do it or not? And this is all based on the data that you build on your opponent. Is he someone who wakes up in a moment of panic? Is he someone who's calm and will wait it out? What type of opponent is he, right? Ooh. Whip punishes need a little bit more work, but that'll come with a little bit more time. Okay, pull up now. Okay, so after this back throw, what I want you to be a little bit more aggressive. Okay, right? No, that's not the wrong button. No, that's the door. Okay, I want you to be a little bit more aggressive, or at the very least, dash into some sort of button, right? That's what I want you to be a little bit more aggressive, right? Now, granted, I'm not saying that this is real. Hear me. I'm not saying that this is something technically real. But what I'm saying is that now your opponent's not normally going to just randomly just try and jump at you, right? Right? But what I want you to start doing is to start taking more offensive stances. That's what I'm trying to get across. Because what ends up happening is that when we wait along here the entire time, you're essentially waiting for your opponent to drive rush or jump at you. And if you don't have answers to drive rush and anti-air, then you're just essentially signing yourself up to get bullied. You see what I'm saying? So take a little bit more of an offensive stance instead of just chilling. Now, offensive stance does not mean we go for slide. Okay? I get you're trying to catch your opponent off guard and whatever woody woo, but keep these things in mind. You don't need to put all of your risk at that point. Good. Good. Take space. Take space. You're wasting time. No anti-air, but it's okay. What a button to... So let's talk about this burnout sequence, okay? Your opponent is going to try and bust out the corner, okay? Right now you have him trapped. Right now you have him trapped. So what do we want to do in these cases? We have a full stick of butter. What we're going to decide to do is start to take a little bit more of an offensive stance, like I mentioned, right? Now I'm going to chill. Why? Because your opponent really wants to get out, right? Now I'm going to have him trapped here, right? Now I have him trapped. Now I can go for whatever decision I decide to go for. Here, this is where I might try to risk it all with driver standing medium punch into DI, or I just kind of chill out and go for an option, right? Ooh, you got me, right? I want to bully them in the corner. I want to make them feel uncomfortable. And then once we're close, we go for the kill, right? Bully them, keep them uncomfortable. But we also want to maintain this kill box, right? Keep them trapped. So then now he's in this situation once again. What are you going to do? You're trapped. Right? You're trapped. Once his health gets low enough that you know you'll kill with a DI stun combo, pull it out. Right? They're stuck. You maintain control. A lot of what Manon likes to do is actually control the situation. It's something that I had to get used to with Elena. That is, you a little bit less control there. By the way, okay, he goes for throw. Level 1. You could have killed here. I think you could have killed here. No, hold on. Yeah. Focus on. Sadly, you do not know her burnout sequence. Sadly, her burnout sequence got nerfed. But either way, right? Make sure you have this combo in your arsenal. This combo is very important to have, right? So then immediately now you kill. Instead of going for a back medium kick, honestly, there's not any time you should be using back medium kick in your combos. If I'm just being honest, I don't think back medium kick is a great option in those cases. I think we should avoid using back medium kick. So the main things that I want you to focus on, let me bust out the notepad. There you go. Okay, things to do. work on with punishes. Okay. Reason why we say work on with punishes is because we noticed that the fact that the opponent was hitting a lot of standing heavy punches, and they were whiffing, and we weren't following with any sort of steady medium kick or steady medium punch. Sorry. Start watching super gauge, and with that comes with balancing out risk slash reward, right? What do I mean by this? In that case, in that situation where you could have gotten waking up level 3 or waking up C8, we just went for offense immediately. It's something that we have to keep in mind while we're operating, just because if the opponent just wakes up CA, now you're in a situation where you have to guess for game, and with no wake up EXDP option or anything like that, you're just kind of out to the wolves. And depending on your situation, you might not even not have super gauge. In that case, you did have super gauge, just super back, but it is something that you have to, again, kind of balance out for yourself, which ones you want to go for versus which ones you don't, right? Excuse me. Work on combo shown. So that would be the back medium punch into EX spin, follow up kick, H up kicks into level 2. It's a very important combo to have in your arsenal, just because it gets you in situations where you can kill a lot quicker. Back medium kick, offense, don't back medium kick into nothing, right? To bait out the back medium kick into nothing is to bait out EXDP. Back medium kick into back medium kick is to essentially force your opponent into doing something, and when you force your opponent into doing something, then you can kind of have that back and forth with him, right? So that's generally where they want to try and crouch jab mash, because they think that you're going to do nothing again, right? So, and then you can also go for back medium kick. Back medium kick into command grab. Okay, this is a very common one, a very common structure to have, where you go for back medium kick into command grab because you think they're either going to parry or just sit there. If they try to hold up, they get blown up. If they try to backdash, they get blown up. Both options end up working in your favor too, okay? So lastly, there's back medium kick into low, okay? So if you can incorporate these things, this will make your back medium kick pressure a lot stronger than it currently is, okay? As for your burnout sequence, it's changed, but I can go over it. That'll be the last thing I'll go over, and then there's another person waiting for a replay, but I got you. Who are you fighting again? So when you're in these situations, right, they block back medium kick. Okay. They block back medium kick, right? They want to go for mash. What you want to do? He's on delay mash. He is on delay mash. Okay. Right. Blows it up. Cool. Now if you decide to go for nothing, right, they do get their pressure started. If you also go for command grab here, you also get interrupted naturally, right? So the key is to condition them to not press in these cases, so that when they stop pressing and try to go for, say, an option like parry, what ends up happening is that boom, they get hit, right? You could also go for a low, right? So if they decide to block it up first hit. Oh, sorry. I don't know what my button presses are. It's so terrible. Right? And then you can go for your pressure. Okay? You could go for an option like this. Or you could simply, if you're going to try and walk back and press something, you could try going for sweep. Okay? So these are how you're going to condition your opponent. I'm going to give you 2 more things, okay? 1. Stand light kick is a very good button while you're trying to approach. Remember how I told you that you need to take more offensive stances? Walking up and using your stand light kick is a very good option. So what you'll end up doing is walking your opponent down using crouching light kick and standing light kick and crouching medium punch. This is how you're gonna push your opponent towards the corner, right? You use these options, and then if your opponent decides to try and press back, that's when we are able to punish whatever option they go for in this instance, right? So those are gonna help you get into those offensive places, right? While also staying safe in a lot of these cases. Now, granted, if they decide to go for their crouching medium kick, especially when it comes to Luke, this is more so a Luke thing because his goes so far. You can still kind of avoid it if you space out your stand light kick properly, but his goes so unbelievably long that it's kind of annoying. Is this the EX color? I actually don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. But you see how crouching medium punch spaces you out from your opponent using this option? So what ends up happening is that if your opponent decides to throw out a medium button to try and catch you, you catch them, right? If they try to jump at you, you're ready to anti it, right? Okay, lastly, let's go over burnout sequence. Okay, you have your opponent in burnout, right? What they want to do is press crouch jab, but the thing is that in the past we could go for standing medium punch into standing medium punch. This is no longer the case. Okay, we have lost that right as Manon folk. Okay, so instead what we now have to do is check our opponent, right? If they decide to go for anything that isn't real, if they try to mash, they get hit, right? They get hit if you go for a stand jab or if you go for crouch jab in these instances, right? They're both 4 frames. If you get the counter hit, you get stand light kick, and then you can get the up kicks, okay? Or if you have the meter, you can go for that option, get more corner carry, and put yourself in a situation where you can kill a lot faster or get the stun combo a lot faster, okay? The other way to bait out the crouching normal is to go for the overhead, right? This is how we're going to take care of our opponent, right? If they try to mash. So there's 2 ways of handling it. You could either go for the stand jab. Now, some things to note is that this is not where it all ends, you could say, is because what ends up happening now is that if you go for this option, they go for nothing, and you go for a jab, then that's when they can press their button, right? So let's say they go after 2, right? You end up getting a trade situation. Stocky, cool, right? We can try to go for that, but still stucky. Secondly, what ends up happening is that if your opponent decides to go for, if you decide to go for overhead, you're actually -5 here, right? So if our opponent is somewhat wise, okay, what they'll end up doing, something like that. Now you get punished for it So then there's a give and take now. Before you kind of had the power in your hands, but now you have to be a little bit wiser with it. So you have to mix up between going for the overhead, going for jab, right? Even stand light kick as a whole just kind of beats the whole thing, huh? Just go for stand jab every time, right? What you can also decide to do is that just go for command grab outright because they're afraid. You can naturally still go for all of your other pressure and it'll be a little bit stronger due to burnout, but those are the general things that you would want to do in these cases. That's how you deal with her when it comes to the burnout, right? Use the overhead to catch people trying to mash, or use the jailing string in order to catch them doing something, and then if you can take advantage of it, you can, right? That's how we're gonna go about it. There was people above. There was someone up here who said that they wanted thing as well. FA the boss, I believe you asked for one before. No problem. And the VOD is always on YouTube, so if you need to go back and see whatever I said about what you're doing, feel free to look back at it. It'll definitely help. Oh yeah, one last super tip. One last one. Remember I talked about using light kick to approach, right? You might be thinking, why would they try to jump at you after this case? This is the little tech that we steal from the Geef players. You get into range, you pop that. You go for H command grab, it's mad fast. It's mad fast. It just gets snuck in there while you're playing the game, right? You're playing the game, you're playing neutral, blah, blah, blah. Boom. And you're just like, oh my gosh, what just happened to me? You know how many people I've scammed with that thing? I can't defend myself with drive impact or whatever you call it. I'm a Luke Wing. You slide this in, I'm telling you, bro, you rob people, right? You start doing this, people start trying to neutral jump, and they start trying to, right? So, peep. So you start doing this, they try to mash, they obviously get hit, right? If they start trying to neutral jump because they've seen the option, forward jump. Am I blind? Vertical jump. There you go. Right? You get anti-air if you're ready. All right, you're doing the exact same motion for both. You could also decide to go for it. You could also decide to go for something like this. Hold on. Right? You can go for that. I'm a little bit slow, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't been playing the game. My reactions to things is very slow right now. I'm gonna be honest, my reactions to things are very slow. Doesn't help me how to defeat Zangief. He's always beat me. I'm not gonna lie. That character lives to meme people. FA, I got you in a second. That character lives to meme people, bro. Some things to keep in mind though while you're playing is that when Geef is trying to meme you, you gotta let him know that you know a little one or two things, okay? So let's suppose oh my god. Right? Let's suppose he goes for this. You see this option so often, right? But sometimes you gotta hit him. Sometimes you gotta hit him with, you know what I'm saying? You let them know that, hey, you're not gonna get away with that option, right? That's one of the things that you cannot let them get away with. Okay? Okay, all right. There's no need to keep. Why do you keep no off? There you go. There's no need to let him get away with that, right? Goes for that option all the time. Exactly. Right? Secondly, okay, yes, we want to keep them locked, but don't be afraid to pull up on them. One thing that you have to note is that these guys, if you give them an opportunity to reversal SBD, they will, because they're lamos. Okay? So what we end up doing is that instead of letting them get away with it, we have to make sure that whatever we're doing is airtight, right? A lot of the time they get away with little gaps and holes in your pressure and they mash SPD in them, right? By making sure that your thing's airtight, that's how you're going to catch your opponent, right? So driver's crouch jab into throw. You're not getting through that. Right? Also, I know a lot of people, this is contrary to how a lot of people feel, but you're going to have to kind of use your normals and use your options against them, right? I can't hit it perfect, huh? I really can't hit it perfect, right? Don't be afraid to challenge your opponent, right? Now, one option that is going to be very annoying is that your opponent is going to decide, oh, that's the wrong button, to throw this thing out, right? This thing is incredibly hard to whiff punish, or so it may seem at first. If possible, oh my gosh, I hate this. What is Luke's button for this? Right? You gotta use your normal. You got to use your normals to punish him, right? Because you have a great option here, you can go for it. I don't got perfects. I'm going to be honest. Right? He's going to try and use this for neutral. Don't allow him to try and use that for neutral, right? So, remember how I just got talking about light kick into... Ooh. Remember how I just got done talking about light kick into thing? One thing that you can do as well, right? If you're able to react to it, you can EXDP. Now, the key point in this is that if they go for light kick into like crouching light kick, which is their fastest normal, nothing comes out because that is technically a real jail, right? But if they decide to give you some sort of access or hole, then you can decide to take advantage of it. Most time I try to fight at short range and then he grabs me. You can't underestimate this man's grabs. Especially as Luke, you also want to start utilizing your advancing normals a lot, right? So that'd be crushing medium kick and sending heavy punch. These are great options to try and check your opponent, right? Obviously, we're going to try and control the game. Also, sometimes your opponent's going to think that they're good at the game, all right? By using armor. Sometimes they're going to think they're good by using this option, right? Because you're going to be like, oh my god, let me check it, and then nothing happens, right? And then you hit into it and then punish counter, right? If you see them charging, ain't nothing they can do about that one, right? Now, this is just off of driver's situation. Sometimes in neutral, they'll just kind of charge it in your face. If you see it, try to hit it, right? I think those are the main ones. And dealing with the standing medium kick, the standing medium punch. The standing medium punch using your stand fierce is a very good option, right? Let's actually test. I actually don't know this. Let's test. Let's test if you can use crouching medium kick. You have to be super close though. I like the comfortability, right? I like the fact that it's comfortable. Standing heavy punch is a lot more comfortable of an option. So if you see them with it, this is what we're going to use. Okay, so that's how we're gonna take advantage of it. Also, don't be afraid to. Okay, I know a lot of people is contrary to how people like to think, but you're also going to have to deal with him at close range because you can't stop playing the game as a whole just because you're dealing with a grappler, right? You try to stop the game as a whole, then what are you really doing? You know what I'm saying? You can't just zone the entire time. You're gonna have to get in this man's face, force a situation. Okay. All right, FA, let's get started, brother. I always thought that move was invincible. I'm here to help, brother. I'm here to help. All right, let's see what we got. What FA got for us? Pippo. Why that name seems super familiar to me? Ayo, EU, brother. Let's go. You love to see it. All right, let's see what happened with Pippo here. Wow. Can I get a Blanca review? So what you were you playing Blanca or were you playing? What? So were you playing Blanca or were you facing Blanca? Just to be clear. I realize that's super low. You was playing Blanca. Okay. This might be your problem. You keep switching characters instead of... You're playing Blanca. Found it. No worries. No worries. You know what I mean? We just out here to chilling out. Okay. Take throw, usual. Nothing to alert. What was our defensive option here? Okay. I was watching you in YouTube. Didn't realize you're in Twitch. Oh yeah, I'm streaming on both platforms. Okay. I think going for delayed tech on first interaction is diabolical, my brother. We need to cut this out. Why do I say this? Is because you know nothing about your opponent. So if you eat a throw at this point, doesn't really do you that much harm versus getting hit with a heavy punch immediately earlier on. Okay. These jumps should not be getting you. Right? These jumps are party time for you, right? Let's say you don't have the charge, right? If you're charging, obviously we go for thing, but if you don't have the charge, standing heavy kick should definitely be coming out a little bit more often, right? We don't want to be letting these opportunities go by. The reason why it's getting countered is because I'm trying to catch it on a late nexus here, right? If you don't have it charged or you don't have your charge ready, then standing heavy kick is going to be your option. Okay. Ooh, he's a masher. Okay. Okay. Let's look at this case. Okay. There are a couple of things. Well, just the one major thing. Let's look at this situation. Okay. Since the beginning of time. Okay. Check this out. Jump 1, not anti-aired. Okay. Jump 2, not anti-aired. Now, you might be saying, Noza, but this was an air to air. This was lucky. This was, you were already going up, recognized you was going up, and pressed the normal. So I don't count this as an anti-air. An anti-air to me is when you recognize the jump, you see the jump, and you choose an option that will anti-air them. That is an anti-air, okay? This is just, I'm scrabbling, putting this together, okay? Second anti-air, not stopped. Third anti-air, not stopped. See what I'm saying? We're seeing a pattern here. Now, the reason why this is important is because these are the opportunities you're going to get. This face is crazy on him. This face is absolutely crazy on him right now. Anyways, these are the opportunities that your opponent is going to give you. You don't take these, you're giving free opportunity, free damage, and free setup. Are we gonna bust out? Listen. A lot of people are going to try and bait on Wake Up here, okay? So, what does that mean? What does that mean? Sometimes it is good to go for, oh my gosh. Sometimes it's good to just go for low forward. I cannot get the crushing heavy kick afterwards. Why? Is because your opponent is very clearly searching for an option. Now, depending on how they react to this, you react differently. So what do I mean by this, right? If they're walking back, then we can go for low forward drive rush, right? This is for characters specifically that have low forward drive rush, right? Sometimes they'll just literally be walked back ever so slightly and crouch block in your face, right? In those cases, you just want to take the opportunity to try and side switch with the crouching medium kick into crouch jab, which is a frame trap. Boom, boom, boom. Put them in the corner. Now they gotta guess. You feel me? And this is because a lot of people are thinking, okay, he's desperate. I've been bullying him once. I've been bullying him twice. I'm gonna get my turn now. I'm gonna bust out. I'm gonna get him off of me. That's how 9 times out of 10 people, let me not be extra, 7 times out of 10, that's how people are thinking. So that's why a lot of people try to go for a bait off of an instance that they think that they will kill off of. Because if you think you'll kill, then they think you'll kill, right? So in those cases, just go for a low forward. Okay, drive rush sweep. Yep. Okay. Anti-air miss, number 4. Now, I'll give you that other air to air because that seemed a little bit more intentional. Number 5, not anti-aired. You seen the habit? You seen the pattern that you're missing here? 6. Okay. 7. So in these cases, good. See what I'm saying? You get your anti-airs. This is how you party time then. It's free damage, especially if you get that counter hit. It's party time. It's party time. Better thing yet is that you have a really good anti-air. And if you get a counter hit, you get good damage. Right? This is why I'm saying focus on that a little bit more. So what ends up happening with opponents like this, they're uncomfortable on the ground. So what do I mean with this? Playing at this space is very uncomfortable, right? So where they feel more comfortable is jumping at you. So all you have to do now, as the lovely Blanca here, is wait and see. I don't know how to, let's do that. Wait and see. I call this tempo 1. Yep, when I don't get my anti-air, I struggle, but I just keep forgetting sometimes. It's something we gotta practice. You know what's funny? I have a video that I'm mentally working on. I hopefully will be able to push it out. It'll be on anti-airs. It should be a very entertaining video if I do it the way my mind envisions it. But this is how you're going to be able to do this, okay? This is called Temple 1, the slower temple. We're going to wait and see. If they want to go for drive rush, we're ready to check them. If they want to go for jump, we're ready for it. Right? This is how we're going to play the game. Because they're uncomfortable here, we negate this space immediately. Because she just can't do it. Can't do it. Alright? So learning how to slow down your play, waiting for them to make a mistake and taking advantage of it, is going to be the play here. Okay? One thing I don't see you using. You got that? Oh, my fault. We will wait. He has an ad. We will wait. I'm not vibing with this. Excuse me. Just put on that. Let me know when you're back. Let me know when you're back. What's the world on about? What's going on? Stupid things just be happening, huh? We can knock on people's door. Knocking is hilarious to me. Say, yo, what's good? Let me in, bro. Yo, can I know who is streaming the hotel games, man? Does anyone know who's streaming the hotel games? I kind of want to watch them a little bit. All right, you're back. Hesitant to enter here because you know you can delay jump with one move. If that's the case, then you should be holding charge. If you're that afraid of it, you should be holding charge. Wait and see. Hold charge, right? I just went over this concept. I don't know if you heard or not. Wait and see. Hold charge, right? If you see an action, if you see an action, right? You wait and see. If you see something you can punish, then you go for it, right? What is it? Is it? Oh, it's that. Right? You ain't gotta do too much. You see him jump, you go for something, right? You're looking for an opportunity to start drive rushing, then you go for it, right? Then you take it upon yourself to start your offense. So that's what you'll be wait and see. You'll go into your wait and see mode, right? If they give you something, you take it. If not, we chill. Especially upon, this is very specific to opponents who like to jump a lot, where we'll just let them kill themselves. We'll wait and just let them kill themselves. See? You're controlling a lot better. You're doing a lot better. The other thing I need you to start doing a little bit more is using the back medium kick, bro. Right? I need you to start using this a lot more. Because it's kind of annoying and busted. I'm not going to lie to you. Right? So you can use it as a means to check your opponent. Right? And be super plus. As well as you can start just trying to throw your opponent. Oh my gosh, I'm so not Blanca coded. Oh, you keep walking back, huh? Right? If you get the hit here, you get a whole route off, right? So using your back medium kick to your advantage, because it is a very good normal to, especially when you're trying to get your stuff started in the corner. It's a good way to start with your plus frames. This is fine, okay? You're fine. Hear me. You're fine. You don't need a mash tech, okay? Please don't mash tech. This is good. Okay. I swear this is body. Am I tripping? I feel like this is body. I wish I was. I wish I was a thing. Uh, oh yeah, it's fine. Oh, I feel like it's definitely not. Now, obviously, you can optimize better than I can, definitely, because I don't know Blanca combos, right? But this is free. You did the exact right thing, and you just kind of fumbled it. That was the easiest party time you could have had, unfortunately. Okay? Sometimes, as you get higher, your opponent is going to try and react to your drive rush. So what you can end up doing is stopping your drive rush early by pressing on normal, right? Because some of your opponents are going to try and react to the green. Sometimes it's good to react to the green, other times it's not, right? Depends on the situation. So then now you put them in the situation where they're pretty much dead, right? Does that touch? No, that does not touch. Okay. You. Oh no. 100% you need to start using normals to stop early. Because the way you do it now, it would completely be dependent on the setup or the knockdown that you have, right? If the knockdown has enough frames for you to drive rush to a point where you can drive rush safely, then you'll be fine. But if the setup is too close to the opponent, there would literally be nothing you can do about it. But if you start using crouch jab is the preferable option. Throw has too many recovery frames. I was just showing throw as another option that you can use. Initially, when the game first started, people were using throw, but people leaned away from throwing using crouch jab. That's because sometimes they'll use throw has too many recovery frames, so if someone uses an option that goes like full screen, it can catch the recovery frames of that, right? So crouch jab recovers a lot quicker, so using crouch jab is a lot better of an option, right? But 100% you can go for that option. Okay, so let's talk about what we things to do here. Okay, anti-air, nah, be more confident in anti-airs. Obviously, we've talked about this in length, right? Don't get too nervous when completing kill combos. This happened very clearly because there were two instances where you could have killed, but you decided not to, right? There was also one other instance that I had noticed. Use more back medium kick for pressure. We barely even saw that normal, right? We barely even saw that normal. That normal is incredibly good, my brother. It's incredibly good, especially when you start using it in the corner and understanding how to utilize it properly in the corner. It's so annoying. It is such an annoying option. Bait, learn timing for crouch jab bait. Not learn, because I feel like you've already learned that. It's more so use crouch jab bait a little bit more, right? I tried in some games, they wake up crouch block. Lastly, be more patient against ops that like this guy. If you learn to be a little bit more patient, wait for these guys to come and just simply kill themselves, and just, you know what I mean? Let them do all the heavy lifting for you. If they're not gonna put in any effort to play with you on the ground, then why are we trying to do so? You know what I mean? Don't worry about it too much. Just be patient. Look for an option in which they're going to try and jump at you. Once they jump at you, you anti-air with the standing heavy kick. If you feel like it's a character that you can't really control as well because of a dive kick option, then simply switch over to your charge option instead, right? Focus more on using charges here anti-air if that's the case. But however, using standing heavy kick is such a good option because of the whole counter hit situation, right? So those are the things generally I want you to start looking at when you're playing the game. While you're playing the game, it's going to help you a lot. Now, this is very important. This patient style only works against people who are just literally going to jump at you. You're going to have to be more aggressive in cases where your opponent is someone who is willing to be patient as well, right? Then you have to start learning the different types of patient players. Sometimes the patient player is the type of opponent that the moment that you get into a certain radius of them, they're going to fire off a button, right? So in those cases, you want to walk into the spaces and walk out, right? If they're an opponent that only presses when you get really close to them, then you want to start using some of your heavy buttons to pressure them. In a case where like they have to start being concerned about their drive gauge because you keep hitting them with heavy normals or medium normals and the likes, right? So just depending on the types of opponent that you're dealing with at the time. But we'll talk a little bit more about that once we progress a little bit higher. But that is generally how I would handle it, I would say. I hope that helps my brother. I hope it does. There was also someone else who wanted one. Am I tripping? I think it was Larson. If you're still here, we can do something for you as well. Thank you, bro. When I get master, you'll be back for sure. Let's play a little bit. Larson, if you're here, feel free to think. Am I competing at EVO again? Nah, man. Getting married, so no EVO this year. Next year, I'm there though. It's also the main reason why my content has been a little bit spotty here and there. It's just everything getting ready for that wedding. It's just like, been a lot. So feeling motivated to get in there has been tough. Thank you, appreciate it. However, once the wedding stuff is over, I can definitely start like kind of hard focusing again. And then honestly, we're gonna do a little bit of a pivot. I'm gonna be honest. I don't only want to do Street Fighter stuff anymore. I want to also do other fighting games because what I love is fighting games. He's in a ranked game right now, but his CFN is Cat Cup 2. Okay, all right, no problem. We can wait for him with a quick game if we can get a game. Saying everyone's at EVO right now, huh? Bro, and this year is such a big year. You're about to propose to your... Amen. Listen. You want some tips? You want some IRL coaching? I got you, okay? Listen. You're going to do the proposal. Find out the things that she likes, just like hobby-wise, and find a way to incorporate that into your proposal. You'll thank me later. Trust me. Shit, eat that up. For my girl, it's photography. She's the one that gave me my cam. So I set up a whole photo shoot and whatever, blah blah blah. I paid the cash out. Boom bops. Now she's like, oh, we're just going for it. It comes across as like, oh, I'm gonna get involved in your hobby, right? I'm just gonna do a little bit of what you like to do, a little bit of your hobby, blah blah blah, that sort of thing, right? But then you come out with, bang, marry me. Helps out a lot. How much are we? You feel a little choppy. Oh wow. Let's see where you're at. Game feels a little choppy. Oh, we're on web browser. That's why. We're on web browser. I was like, why does this feel so choppy? When I'm on the web setting, it feels a lot worse. The game feels a lot worse. Oh, wow. I don't know why that worked. Okay. Wait, is there a setting to turn off people's rank from seeing in game? Yeah. I think it definitely helps. Courthouse is calling your name. Listen, brother. Listen. I feel you on that. Okay, I am not liking that. I feel my rust kicking in. There comes a lot. I'm not a fan of this happening. Neutral jump. I can't believe that worked. I'll show you what that setting is. All right, let me lock in a little bit. I say that. Jeez. Listen, sometimes I ain't gonna lie. A lot of the time, like I'm thinking like Courthouse is the way, my brother. Oh my god. Low forward. I have not been playing in a while, man. Ay. You're red. Now you're good. I got played like a nut. My anti-airs were terrible. What did I want to do? Oh yes, I wanted to show you this. Okay. So what you can do is you can go to other. You can go to Battle HUD. Other custom display. Rank. Hide all. Display or hide all. I did not get to enjoy that game at all. All right. Let me de-rust myself because I feel like there's always like when you don't play for like even like 2 days of not playing, there feels like a huge rust comes over you with this game. Do y'all ever feel that way? Cause like I'll be playing sometimes and I'll be like, damn man, like I'm really feeling it. Like reactions to things, like your eyes can recognize the things that are happening, but then your hands are just lazy about it the entire time. Reviewing a game for you? Yeah, I got you. Okay. Okay. Ooh, that was good. That was good. That was good. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. But yeah, I got the both of you. Let me run a quick first two with this guy. I ain't got those. A little bit of a warm-up period, I ain't gonna lie to you. We really gotta de-rust a little bit. So I'll show you. There's a couple ways to do it. It's quite nice, no? Nice. I'm dead. GG's. Kind of stupid, right? Go and there's DP into your Blanco ball. Yeah, once you get to a certain level, then you can't really do it for free. Nice. Oh, that's a mess up. So, what some Blancas like to do is to kind of bait it out by doing the light one. I recognize the fact that he was going for it. I didn't mind getting hit with the counter hit Blanco ball in the case that I was incorrect. So in those cases, I was just like, okay, let me just simply go for it. It's fine by me. I'm not using my usual. So one thing I noticed is that, yeah, he likes to attack a lot. Like so. The one thing I really like about Elena is that if you get PC'd pretty much anywhere, you get it, you implode. The hair mod is quite nice. That's not what I wanted. It's fine. School. Jump. Oh, this shouldn't have happened. Oh, didn't come out. That was a great backdash. A lot of her stuff is quite fun to do. I'm not gonna lie to you. Alrighty. Let's get on to it, shall we? Alright, Larson, let's do it. Hey, 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 hey. We're a bison, we're a little bipson. We're a little bipson. Alright, bet. I'm sure there are a couple of things here and there. Let's see it. Okay. Okay. Yep. Good. I would even say cash on this. Yeah. Anti. Okay. So here you did the right thing, right? You pressed it twice. A little bit gimmicky because they can press back. But after this instance here, back up, you did the right thing, but you immediately needed to follow it up with an anti-air, right? The reason why we're backing up here is to get ready for an anti-air, right? So the moment this happens, you walked back. When you're walking back, you're looking for two options, right? That is, or rather, let's say three options, okay? That is them trying to drive rush at you, them trying to poke at you, or they're trying to jump at you, right? These are the things that are going through my mind when I walk back like this. So if I can at the very least, start off with stopping two of those things, we're in a good spot. There you go. We're in a good spot. So learning the fact that when you're walking back like this, what you're looking for, it'll be chef's kiss for you, trust me. So when it comes to getting better at anti-airs, let's start off with, at the very least, setting yourself up to anti-air, right? So let's suppose in this instance here you did a good example of doing that, but unknowingly, right? After you hit the crouching medium punch, you walk back. That is setting yourself up to anti-air. So we're going to start off with this aspect of the game where you stand in the correct places to force your opponent into thinking that it is okay to jump. When they jump, you're already prepared for it because you're putting your brain power towards it. You feel me? In the beginning, you're going to have to put brain power towards it. As time progresses and as you keep playing the game, you'll find that you can just simply react a lot better to these things, right? Right now, trying to get my DP anti-air in my head, I'm still struggling with that because I've been using out my entire fighting game lifetime, which has been like since 2016. I've always pretty much just used a normal for an anti-air. When I was playing MKX, it was down triangle or down 2, right? Same thing with Injustice. Same thing with stopping Super Dash in Dragon Ball Fighters, right? It tends to be a button and not a DP. So it'll be a hard adjustment to learn how to do something like this, but once you start to get a hang of it over time, it'll help you out so much. But let's start off with putting ourselves in the situation where we can anti-air. Good. Okay. Okay. What your gameplay screams to me right now, it tells me, or at least it seems to me as though what our game plan is to wait for a fireball. If that fireball isn't successful, oh, you're good. We can wait. Yeah. Um, but I'm gonna just tell chat real quick. What his game plan screams to me is the fact that when he's playing the game, he's not focused on dealing with what's in front of him. He's just imagining what he wants out of a situation and trying to focus on that and only do that. So that when he's in that situation, he kind of has to scramble it together, right? When he doesn't get that situation, he's trying to scramble it together. What do I mean by this? He's trying to walk back, look for an opportunity, Psycho Crusher it, right? Looking for Fireball, Psycho Crusher it. When he's not giving that opportunity to him, gonna try and jump and put it back together. That's what I mean, what he's trying to get at, right? Larson, what I was saying to chat is the simple fact that it seems to be that you're looking for the one thing, and when you don't find that one thing, you go for a jump because you're uncomfortable, right? That one thing is you walking back looking for an instant to Psycho Crusher through the Fireball so that you can get your party started. Instead of hyper depending on that option, I want you to look for different opportunities. So, what does that look like? What do these different opportunities look like? So let's say in this instance, right? We can take the opportunity. Please. Why is my head crouching every crouch? There we go. We can take this opportunity to put it on them, right? When it's on them, we can now use this opportunity to try and bully them in the corner, right? You have full drive gauge. There's not really a reason why you have to play the game without any sort of drive rush or anything, right? So let's take advantage of this a little bit more. Don't feel like you have to go for an option like that, right? Don't feel like you always have to go for something. Don't forget that if you have drive rush cancel, it's there to be used. Now, granted, you should be using it wisely, but it's an option that's available to you, right? If you decide not to use it at all, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice. Here, there was not really a reason to not follow this up with anything. At the very least, follow it up with a crouch jab mash, and then end it if you did recognize the fact that you did not hit anything. Another anti-air problem. Oh yeah, we got panic. We got panic. We got panic in our souls. We're not finishing anything anymore. One thing I would suggest is simply just calm down, okay? I feel like right now you're like, oh, I'm dying. I need to do something. Instead, calm down, assess the situation. How am I gonna bring this back? You're playing to survive, my brother. You're playing to survive. What I need you to start doing is to calm down and start looking for a way to win. Not to survive, but to win. It seems cliche, it seems common, but it's very true. A lot of players around this rank, they get very nervous when they get put into situations where they're low health. So they start scrambling, they start doing things, right? This is also where the idea of wake up EXDP comes from, especially when they're one shot and they know they're one shot. They know they're one shot, they're so like, okay, I gotta get out of this situation, EXDP. See what I mean? Moments like this is very important. Anti-air. No anti-air. Because the reason why I say anti-air is important in this instance, because now that you've done this, I have to guess throw or not, right? It's either I do nothing or I get thrown. Now the options you got is to anti-air using that option, right? If you're already holding back on an instance, then you can go for Psycho Crusher. But if you're not ready, then simply go for, since you're already down backing, might as well go for a crouching heavy punch anyway. Okay, very lucky DI. No follow up. Cool. Get in there. One option that I would suggest you start using a little bit more often is your back. Life is hard. One option that I suggest you start using a little bit more often is your back heavy kick. Sorry about that. Your back heavy kick. Reason being is because it's plus, especially when you get the bomb setup charge, your opponent is a little bit afraid to press something. And if they are not afraid to press, we give them a reason to be afraid to press, right? Yeah. Okay. Right. Right? This is what I mean by you give them a reason to be afraid. You go for the back medium punch. Okay, I don't think you get things. I actually don't know the move there. What's the link there? I probably this. But anyways, suffice to say, you wanna hurt your opponent, right? By making your opponent respect this, you essentially make your opponent scared to try and jump or break away or anything like that. That's when they start trying to go for different options. Obviously, terrible combo, not optimized at all. Right? This is just me freestyling based. This game goes real, bro. I literally just I guessed at this. There's no way this freaking kills, bro. That's ridiculous. But anyways, suffice to say, this is why I want you using back medium kick a little bit more, okay? That's why I want you using back medium kick, because if you get this, you get a lot of value from it, my brother. How do I do that? Like this? Okay, we're gonna try something. I'm terrible at that. Yeah, I think that technically, I think that might be the optimal off of my terrible combo. So you go for the thing immediately afterwards. I think I delay it as well, right? gotta hold it a little bit longer. I might be able to get medium there. Hold on. I am not great at this. Anyways, this is the type of things that I want you incorporating, okay? This is my lazy combo because I don't want to charge in there. But anyways, I see that's so much damage, bro. That's why, excuse me, that's why I want you using back medium kick a lot more in your pressure. People need to start using their drivers plus frames. Also, wake up the eye. Terrible option. Okay? Let's say in the case that you want to actually get the wake up drive reversal. If you want to get wake up drive reversal, you press forward and the DI button. Okay? Imagine if this killed. That'd be hilarious. But it's not going to because the game is fair. It's just, I'm not even meaning for these to kill. I'm not meaning for it to kill. Okay. Sometimes, right, you get hit here. It'd be to your advantage to sometimes go for the wake up drive reversal, right? And then you can go for like a very basic situation where you can kill, right? You want to push them off of you sometimes. And then you can kill. Right? Sometimes going for options like these help you with the flow of battle because a lot of your opponents are going to try and do something stupid. And in the case that they're trying to do something stupid, we want to have a punish or an option that we can rely on when they go for that option. So what do I mean by this? If they're gonna walk forward, right? I would hope that we have something available, right? Alright, I forgot. But anyways, I digress on the situation. You kind of just get walked forward upon, and then you get hit here. This is a negatory, my brother. This is a negatory. Yo, miss, what's good with you, bro? Hope you're doing well, man. I'm over. Do we want to put some on? Anyways, so the things that I want you to work on, let's talk about it. Anti-airs. Specifically, work on getting standing in right ranges to anti-air comfy. Okay? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Next, use pack heavy kick more often after setup. Use it even when there is no bomb, because it's +1. Because it's +1. So you should use the button. Okay? Look into better combos, because you can kill a lot more than you think. Okay? Those are the things that I want you to focus on right now. Because you think you can't kill, Brother Bison will always show you that he has a way to kill. So using that to your advantage, learning what you can do, and going from there, okay? These are the things I want you to focus on, at least for now. Then we can spin it back and start fixing out the gaps in your offense and such like that, okay? So what you can do, right, in the case that when you're +1 here after the back medium kick, you can walk throw, okay? You can back heavy kick again, or delay button to catch, crouch, light punch, mash. So let me show you what I mean by this, okay? So after you do the back medium kick, these are your options, okay? Let me show you. ED, what's good with you, my brother? Hope you're doing well, man. Let me show you what I mean. Bison. Oh yeah, I forgot you're also fighting Akuma, so you kind of just out damage him a lot of the time. Okay, so they block the crouch medium kick, right? If you try to go for it again, they can interrupt you, right? So, what can you do? You can go for the real thing. If you go for back medium kick into crouch jab, they can't crouch jab you back, right? So, what you'll do is that if you notice or recognize the fact that they went for something, you can go crouch jab, stand jab, light bomb setup. Then you can run at them and then do the whole thing all over again, okay? Still trying to level up your Marissa for sure. Okay, like so. So let's say they don't mash, right? Options that are available to us. We can go for it again. So we do it twice so that they feel like they can't do anything, or it makes them feel like they want to mash, and then that's when we can go for that, okay? Let's suppose you simply want to do this. This is a good option as well, right? Now, one thing to note is that if your opponent decides to walk backwards, this can be a little annoying, right? Right? It'll whiff. So be a little careful with this. Walk into it a little bit, okay? Don't just press it immediately, because if they're walking back because they're afraid of the situation or they don't want to get a hit, then it's not going to work. But if your opponent decides to walk back here, what you can decide to do is catch them that way. Right? And then you can put them in that. Right? So we can either go for it again, keep it real, then go for pressure, right? Or we could go for throw. And that's how you're gonna force your opponent into very bad situations. So let me give you an example. Oh my gosh. Why am I being bad? And then you do it again. Right? And then you force that situation again. And because you did drive rush back medium kick +5, so basically when you do drive rush back heavy kick, because you're +5 off of this instance, you have better options here. So you can go for that. Right? This is how we're going to improve our offense, but that's just a touch of what I'm talking about. right? This version is +1 because it's not drive rush. When it's drive rush, add extra 4 plus frames to it, so that means it comes +5. So then that now situations like that become real, right? And you can force it. That's what I'm saying. The pressure is ridiculous. So start using it a little bit more often. That's why I'm saying this move is kind of ridiculous. So if you notice your opponent is mashy, keep it real. Keep it cute. Right? Keep it cute. If your opponent is standoffish and not doing anything, start checking them. Okay? This is how you're gonna improve your offense. But anyways, that's just a little tidbit. You're off to the races. Best of luck in them rank streets, my brother. There was one more person, right? Brand new type. Show me what's good. Hey, no worries, man. I'm here to help. Brand new, you around still or no? Just a quick question if you can. Sure. Go for it. Okay, perfect. Bow, bow, bow. Okay, lovely. Ooh, okay. A little Manon. Do you have any advice for understand when it's my turn to attack? Because I come from MK. Same here. It's really to decide when to switch turns. The reason why it's a little hard to speak on is because there's a lot of nuance there. Right? Did you fight 2 sets of bisons? Oh no. I'm just being lying. Hey, you won a lot. You went on a nasty little streak there. Nasty little clever little streak. And then we'll watch the last one here. Let me use Ryu as an example, I guess. Can we do hub matches? Sure. I might use his special moves. Me and say, yeah, I know. I come back from MKX, bro. I feel you. Played Injustice 2. I feel you. I'm a MK boy. I gave up after MK11. MK1 wasn't doing it for me. I'm gonna be honest with you. But I feel you. Okay. So let's say. Actually, I'm gonna switch this around. So how do we know when it's your turn to attack or not? This is a very nuanced question. I'm gonna try my best to explain it the best way I can. The start of this starts off with frame data, and then the next level to it comes in special moves, right? Then the next level of it is pushback and spacing. Okay, so let's start off with just frame data. Okay. Whoa. Oh yeah, this is me labbing anti-airs. Don't mind this. This is me labbing anti-airs. Okay. The first part is normal. Okay. So if I go for an option like standing medium punch, which is a lot of reuse do, even though it's not real. Agent, what's good with you? Right? How do you know it's your turn? I see that my opponent consistently likes to go for this option, but this option very clearly is not real, right? Right? It's very clearly not real. That's the first level. No longer 1200, 1430. Progress, my brother. Progress. So, in that instance, right, we very clearly recognize it's not his turn anymore once he's gone for something negative, right? So, now we're going to add the next level of nuance to it. This is the fact that if he were to go for an option like this is real. Oh, sorry, I chose the wrong one. I believe this is the one. If I try to do the exact same thing I did before, it's not actually my turn anymore, and you just get counter hit. Actually, no, I was just being bad. This is not a good example. Oh, this is actually a terrible or worse example. I don't know why I'm choosing terrible examples. I'm not a reunion. I'm a fake name. That's a better example. Okay, this is a better example here. Because I think that now that he's pressed his normal, that is technically safe, and I can take my turn, that I can actually take my turn, which this is very clearly not the case, right? You just get counter hit here. So this is the next level of nuance. Are they canceling it? Is the move that he's pressing special cancelable? Because obviously there are normals that you can't special cancel. In those cases, it makes it a little bit harder for them to go for an option like this, right? Where you think is a terrible. So just keep taking space and eat burn knuckle or something like that. Because you just walk back too much. So then, Asian, we'll get to you. We'll get to you. Okay, so that's the next level. So now we're kind of concerned, will he do special move, will he not? This is how you start adapting to your opponent, because now that you understand this, what are the options that he has? What can he cancel into? Is what he cancels into safe? Yes or no? So knowing when to press it, when to take your turn is a very nuanced situation, okay? So let's suppose your opponent decides to do something like this, right? The heavy Hashokeki. In the case that they go for the heavy Hashokeki, it's very clearly that you can interrupt it, right? But now you have to guess between, is he going to do the medium one and then end his turn after the medium one? Or is he going to go for the heavy one? Now, if he goes for the heavy one, we can obviously interrupt it and get some value. But if he goes for the medium one, we take damage and corner carry, and we're in a worse situation because of it, right? So, because of that, now we have to be a little bit more mindful of the options that we're choosing. Then there's the other area, which is spacing. Okay, so let's suppose they go for something like this, or like this. Yeah, let's do that. So let's say they do something like this. Actually, I'm gonna do something like this. No, that's too quick. Okay, let's suppose they do something like this. You want to take your turn back. You decide to try and take your turn back, and you get whiff punished for it because you tried to press a button. Spacing also plays into whether or not it's your actual turn. Because if you're too far, the normal that you have to commit to in order to get something started changes or differs. So it's a very dynamic thing that's going on, and that's kind of what they were going for with this game, where it's not a one-size-fits-all on whether or not it's your turn, if you get what I'm saying. So how do you approach this? I think the best way to go about approaching this is to compartmentalize each situation and what it can do mentally. But this will take time naturally. But understanding what he can do and what he can't do, this will be the crux of what's going on. So for instance, if he goes for sending heavy kick into medium, is his turn over? Yes. But, right? What if he does this? Ooh. Just lets it rip. Because now you're thinking, alright, I'm gonna take my turn. Then he reps the EXDP on your face. Okay? So once we realize, yes, it's our turn. Okay, afterwards, yes, it's our turn. But now you have to add the human factor in. Is he crazy enough to EXDP, yay or nay? If nay, I take your turn. Okay? If yay, then you want to wait a little bit longer. This is a very common thing. Let's suppose we're talking about headbutt. Headbutt is safe. Sometimes the Honda will go for a headbutt into EX headbutt thinking that you're going to press a button. So then it conditions you to not want to press. And then that's when they do headbutt into headbutt. So then there's a lot of give and take on whether or not it's your turn. So that's why what I mean by it's a very nuanced subject. Yeah, I haven't been playing for long, only about 1 or 2 months, even less with Bison. So, got an ad, but carry on. I'll watch the VOD later. Okay. The way I want you to approach it is, number one, it's going to take time. It's not an advice that I can give you immediately to get you comfortable in these situations like that. It's not gonna happen. But what I'd say is learn what the character generally likes to do, and what are the answers to that option. Okay? So, let's talk about the very invincible Ryu. Right? Sometimes he'll like to press that. So, a lot of the time they actually like to do something like this. Reason being is that if they go for an option like this and you walk forward trying to get into crouching medium kick range, you end up getting hit in your mouth, right? So instead, we're gonna walk back and wait for the opportunity in which they whiff, right? That's how we're gonna take advantage of a situation. But this is all very dependent on picking up on tendencies. The faster you can get better at picking up opponent tendencies, the easier this will become for you, right? Now, it's not only just picking up on habits, but also having the answers to take advantage of those habits. That's how we're going to grow in the game. Okay? So we got a situation where he's just mashing this, right? Then we can find opportunities to get in there. And then now we can put him in a situation like this. Okay? So yes, it's a very dynamic changing thing, but at the very least, as you get used to things, you will become a more, if you keep this in mind, if you just keep playing mindlessly, you're not gonna grow. Or your growth will be very much slower than someone who decides to hone in on these details. So what I will say is that learn what each character likes to do. Like, for instance, we all know, all the people who played this game a lot, we all know they like to do this, and the Akumas of the world like to do this, and then force frames on you, right? And you think it's your turn because he did something, and then he goes for EX, and he's doing all of this, right? It's very annoying, very obnoxious stuff. You know that the fact that he's going to go for this. You know he's going to go for drive rush overhead, right? But how do we have answers? What are our answers to the fireball, right? If our character doesn't really have answers, you're going to have to chuck it, right? So if our opponent likes to throw out forward heavy punch a lot because it can force proximity guard and it goes very long. We also know that their turn is over. Why? Because they can't special move off of this, right? They can't special move off of this. They go for standing heavy punch. They got special. They're able to do that sort of thing, but off of forward heavy punch, the turn is over. Okay, these are the things that we're looking for. These are the things that we're taking advantage of. We see sweep. We're sweeping, right? Obviously, when it comes to Shoto players, we always have to be wary of sweep because Shoto players will sweep you. Sometimes they'll mash the double sweep. The first sweep is to get into range. The second sweep is to catch you off guard. I'm just a messenger. Okay? Also, how we go about dealing with crouch jab. That is how we're going to get better at this. The more you think about what's going on in the game and how you can react better to what common Akuma strategies or common Ryu strategies or common Elena strategies and find the counters to them so that when the opponent crutches on it or leans on it, we have the correct sequence of actions to prevent it. So I can't say it's a one-stop shop, but what I can say is that keep your eyes out while you're playing your opponents for what they like to do. Instance of this, Kim slide. You know they like to walk back and slide. What's your answer? Walk and block. Right? You said you want hub. Then you want hub matches, right? I never touched the hub matches. You lost to this GM. You wanna look at this GM game? Let's look at this GM game. AV. Simply AV. Anything? Nah, no worries, man. I'm here to help. Exclamation mark Discord to join the Discord if you're interested. We have people in there. They're more than willing to help. If you want games, they're there for games as well. Okay, off rip. No bueno, my brother. Off rip. It needs to be this. It needs to be this. Or it needs to be this. No excuses, no complaints. It's gotta be that. I didn't check it back. My fault. No excuses. Parry's not good enough. And tier number 2 missed. Like other characters with EXDPs and whatever have you, you can get away with it, whatever. You don't have Drive Rush. You do not have. You don't have Drive Rush, okay? And you don't have like low forward Drive Rush, crush medium kick Drive Rush, okay? You need this, okay? You need this. This unacceptable. If as a you're gonna get diamond soon, you'll come back for sure. As someone who plays Manon, trust me when I say this, anti-air's your best friend. You get the anti-airs, you bring them down. Okay, it's time to cook. Command grab, yay or nay. Time to cook. Yeah, happens. Good patience. Listen, I've seen you parry twice now on an anti-air. It's making me really worried that you're a parry anti-air. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that so much. I hate that so much. I hate that. I hate that so much. I hate this is a thing. Just walk forward, jab. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. That's just a personal thing, though. Don't mind me. I hate that. Okay. Sometimes it's good to push your opponent off. Okay. Let's suppose our opponent even blocks this because they put themselves in burnout now. It still wouldn't matter. So it's not unsafe anymore. Right? Okay. You should be buffering either way. Right? After this, you should be buffering either way. What do I mean by buffering? If you get the hit, or if they block, you should be drive rushing. In both cases. Why? Full stick of butter here. Not really a reason not to, right? I'm gonna go pink because we're here. Anyways, you have a full stick of butter here. If you have a full stick of butter, let's get started. All right? There you go. Oh, okay. I'll see you the next instance you drive rush. We're gonna check it out. Oh, this is. Oh. Okay. Let's go back. Let's start off with your pressure, because I don't think you'll get another pressure sequence here, because for some reason we're not buffering at all. Okay. Back heavy punch is terrible. I'm just gonna lay it out for you. Hold on, my music is gone. I'm just gonna lay it out for you. Back heavy punch as an option here. It's not good. It's not good at all. I can't play that. It's a very dangerous playlist. Let's play this. Let's do this. Keep it Street Fighter. Keep it cute. Keep it Street Fighter. Okay? Why am I saying this is a terrible option? You don't get anything. It sucks. Okay? It sucks. Where are you? What do you get? What do you get? Stand light kick? You don't get stand jab. You don't get cross jab. You only get stand light kick and options that don't actually frame trap. It's not good. It doesn't give you anything. The only time you should be going for this option is when you want to force burnout, and back heavy punch is a good option for that. Okay, so what do we do instead of that option? Okay, instead of that option, jab. Now, see the difference, huh? Right? You see the difference here? Now, this was definitely uncomfortable. Generally, you want to be drive rushing off of standing medium punch because it leaves you a little bit closer. But that's neither here nor there. Right? Puts you in a situation now. Now the options are a little bit better from this range, right? You still +3, right? An option you can take. It's not. I wouldn't like necessarily recommend it like that, but it's definitely an option you can take as well. I don't gravitate towards it too often, but stand jab is 100% the right way to go. Right? You get the stand jab, you get the pressure, right? If they mash on the situation, then you get the knockdown. When you're off the knockdown, you can go for the crushing medium kick, or you can go for a command grab. So then you now put them in a situation where they have to guess. You go for this option, you don't get the stand jab pressure, right? You don't get the H thing here. It's just like, you know what I mean? Here he decided to match. Ooh, please block. Ugh. I don't know why I'm getting double jab there. But anyways, back medium kick is not the way to go. It happens. I think you depend on crouching medium kick more than standing medium punch, even though standing medium punch is the better button. Even though it got nerfed, it's still the better button to press. My brother. The next thing that I want you to be prepared for, right? Ooh. Let's suppose we're in this situation. Hold on. Let me go a little bit back. If you find yourself, oh my gosh, please. So if you find them close enough to you, what you can do is stand in medium punch, stand light punch into the slide. If not, you can go for standing medium punch, stand light kick, and you get the exact same, well, not the exact same pressure. So one thing to note about going for this option, if you go for dash into the low forward, you get the exact same thing. You get the meaty drive rush, crouching medium kick, right? You still get that option. However, if they decide to do any other option like EXDP or Wake Up Super, you actually can't do anything. You can't bait it out or anything like that. So that's the one thing about that option, is that while there's some benefits to it, you will not end up getting the value from it. I don't really want to play Persona. I think I've burned out a little bit on Persona 5 music. You know what I'm saying? Dang. Sometimes, especially if you see them rolling at you, you kind of gotta, you know what I mean? When you find yourself in situations like this, you kind of gotta go for a wake up option. Right now, you're not showing any wake up options, and it's killing you on the inside, man. It is killing you. So here's what I suggest. Number one, learn your PC routes. Cammy and then. Number one, learn your PC routes. If you get your hit here, know which route you can go for. Right? And then we can go for something amazing or whatever have you. Okay? If you understand this, you'll be all right. Okay? The next thing, when you decide to go for pressure, right? If you have a full stick of butter, right? It's not really a reason why you have to be conservative, where you just only go for like crouching medium punch or standing medium punch the whole time, right? If you have a full stick of butter, go into something, right? So this is what you can do. After this, what ends up happening is that you can go for either the frame trap. So if you do, so let's suppose they decide to go for a crouch jab match, right? What you can do is now you put them in a situation where they get counter hit for trying to mash. That's why I say this option is better. Now you can catch this. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, you can catch that. Now if they decide to do anything aside from try to block this, so let's suppose off of this instant they try to hold up, right? If they try to hold up here, up forward is fine. It just catches them, right? Now naturally if you try to go for this, you get cooked. But one thing to note is that what you can also do is that you can go for normal grab, be ready for the anti-air, and now you got a stock. See what I mean? This is how we elevate our games a little bit higher by using options that force them into making decisions. When they make decisions, we can go for a punish. Now, one thing to note is that this is actually probably the best option, because if you go for command grab here, that you're right in the face and they can go for anything. If you go for throw, it whiffs and you can't get anything off of it either. So backdash is technically the best option there, but a lot of people will try and jump. A lot of them will try and jump. A lot of them will try and jump, right? Also, if you need a kill, You also get this, right? What is it? No, I think that's not the best route. Probably something like this. Give or take something like that. But anyways, that's why you want to start using that. Now, granted, you can also go for crouching medium punch, but notice where it leaves you as well. It leaves you a lot less close to your opponent. That's why when I'm going to go for a drive rush, I generally like using extended medium punch for the forward advancement of it. And it leaves me in that perfect range to do everything that I want to do, right? So utilizing things like this, use steady medium punch a lot more. Great for whip punishing. Unfortunately, they added more recovery to it, but it is what it is. It's still a great button, irregardless, especially if you're not whiffing it. One thing else as well, I want you using crouching medium kick, because crouching medium kick spaces you out from your opponent. And then we can now go for different things, especially if they want to start whiffing. If they start trying to whiff crouching medium kick immediately afterwards. Okay. That was just one game, but those were the things I generally saw. Going for this is not terrible, but you know, it can definitely be a lot better than that, right? And if you want to keep it cute, we do driver stand jab, double jab. If nothing comes of it, then you don't have to do anything. If something comes of it, you get the slide into pressure, right? But those are the things I generally noticed. Also, please, man, these are our lifebloods. Character pulls you down, boom. Now they're in a situation where they gotta guess, right? It's literally the lifeblood of the character. Or if you're a little bit more elevated, you get that. Now you get a stock. Now they're in a worse situation. Now you got 5 stocks. Hey, yo, hold on. Who was that? Who was that? What 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 was that? I don't even know my my situation here. Create a dashboard. Go to my dashboard. What's going on in my dashboard? Yo, brand new type. Thank you for the tier 1, my brother. I appreciate you, my guy. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I gotta learn my alerts, man. I gotta learn my alerts for real. But yeah, those are the things I want you to keep out for, okay? As I stream more often, you can pop by and always ask for a review of what's going on. I can definitely take a look at what happened, why it happened, and where we can go from there. Another thing that I want you to start exploring or looking into is just wake up options, right? When you get knocked down, right? Sometimes it'll be in your interest to go for a wake up option, right? Especially if you know they're gonna go for something, it'll get you out of the situation. Especially with a character that does not have EXDP, it's going to be real critical that you know how to use these, right? Now, we're not always going to go ahead and use this, obviously. However, sprinkling this into your gameplay makes them want to try and bait you. When they try and bait you, that's when we can take our turn back. You see what I'm saying? A little give and take. That's all we're asking for. Anyways, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit pooped and I got work in the morning, so I'm gonna head on out, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you guys hanging out with me, man. It's been a nice, cool, chill evening with y'all. I'll try and see if I can find some time to stream. We might even do maybe like a nighttime EVO catch up of things that happened or good matches that happened. Because during the day, I'll just be busy, right? Dealing with the mothers, my mother, her mother, that sort of thing, right? But in the nighttime, maybe we can do a little, nighttime Evo catch up. Y'all show me the good stuff. We can review matches and the likes. All right. So that's all for today. Appreciate you. Appreciate brand new. Shout out to brand new for the sub. Appreciate you again, my guy. With that being said, I'm gonna head on out. Peace.